What is up, everybody? As always, we always start this podcast off with showing love to all those companies who help make this podcast possible. First and foremost, is always our friends over at Yellow Jacket. Guys, Yellow Jacket, 70 years ago, Jack Ritchie had a goal for Ritchie Engineering to become the standard by which all other HVAC hoses are measured. In the last 7 decades, the Yellow Jacket brand has not only become the standard in HVAC hoses, tools, refrigeration gauges, manifolds, HVAC vacuum pumps, and refrigerant recovery machines, it's become legendary. How have they done it? Through an unwavering commitment to excellence. It's the single most important attribute in the longevity of the company. While other companies sold out, sent work overseas, or lessened quality, the relentlessness commitment of their people has led to 70 years of best-in-class products, first-in-class customer service, and innovations that make the contractor's job easier worldwide. That's us, everyone. All right? So let's join Yellow Jacket in the next 70 years as they commit to changing the standard once again. Remember, 70 years of expertise built into every tool. Going to do a little change up tonight. A good friend of mine has a clothing brand. And, we, even if it's not HVAC, we like to support, local businesses, the small guy. So a friend of mine, it is called GYO. It is GregYorkOriginals.com, has a clothing line. And he has been so nice to hook all of our listeners up with a discount code. And I want to say it's like 20% off. So if you go to Greg York, so it's just Greg, Greg, York, YORK, originals.com. Check out some of his merchandise. He's got a bunch of cool stuff. In the video, I'm wearing one of his hats and some of his shirts right now. And put in the code Uncensored and save yourself 20% off. And you're also helping a small business. All right. That's enough paying the bills tonight. On to the show.
I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands.
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God bless the United States, and thank you to all of our global listeners.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
If you're trying to take your HVAC game to the next level, then buckle your seatbelt, crank up the volume, and try not to be offended. Because you're listening to the HVAC Uncensored podcast with Gil Cavey and Kelly McKay. Now, here's Gil and Kelly.
What is up? What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the HVAC Uncensored podcast. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure this is episode 99. So I am your host, Gil Cavey Jr., sitting alongside my buddy, old pal, Mr. Kelly Mother Effin' McKay. What's up, my friend?
What's up, Mr. Cavey?
Same old Shiza, buddy. Same old Shiza.
Yeah. Well, we got a great guest tonight. He's the founder and CEO of Company Cam. And I don't know if I know this has never happened to me, but it might have happened to you guys, where you go out and you collect a bunch of information to look at a replacement job, and you take pictures and you take notes and you got all this information, and then it comes time to order the equipment and you cannot find some of that information. You can't find the pictures.
Is that a 2-ton or a 3-ton? I can't remember.
This has never happened to me, but if it's ever happened to you, then you're going to want to listen up tonight, guys, because because Company Cam can be the solution for this problem. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Luke Hansen. Welcome to the show, Luke.
Thank you, guys. That was an awesome intro. Like I'm kind of blown away by what you guys are doing here. Now I want to have you drive 4 states away to fix my HVAC next time it goes out.
Hey, it's what we're trying to do here, man.
Get it going.
There's a trip charge. There's a trip charge.
Yeah. A lot of gas. Oh man. No, that's a good intro. I'm glad to be here. I'm looking forward to talking to you guys. Like we have a lot of HVAC customers, but I come from the roofing industry. So I'm not like a native in this land. I feel like I know about it. It's similar. I probably know more about HVAC than like 9 out of 10 people, but I still know like 1% as much as the actual pro person there. And so I'm kind of just as interested in learning about the industry, that kind of stuff, as I am about talking about Company Cam.
Yeah, well, it's because you have a product that is for the service industry. So you can mix and match whether it's roofing, HVAC, plumbing. So you don't really need to know the details about the trade. It's good for you to know, but the grand scheme, it helps the service industry in general.
The way I think about it, I think that's spot on. Like I tell our team all the time, we are solving problems that every contractor has. If it's just a problem that a plumber has, if it's unique to building fences, then that's not something that we're interested in. Every single contractor has this problem of the work does not happen at your office, happens at some sort of job site, happens out there. You can't be at all those places, but you need to have some idea of what is going on, what has went on, and then you need to be able to actually find it when you need it. And so we think of ourselves as trying to solve problems that every contractor has. But what you just said, when you said, is that a 2-ton or a 3-ton? Like, I know the roofing version of that. The roofing version of that, is was that brown gutter apron or gray gutter apron? You know, it's like, there's the different kind of stories. And when you're trying to do marketing and stuff, you want to tell a story that is really easy for someone to understand and not make them think like 5 steps sideways to understand what a roofer is going through, even if it's very similar problem. And so like from our app product perspective, we think of it as we solve problems that contractors have. But from a marketing and sales perspective, I'm really interested in understanding like, okay, I understand why a roofer shows up in my house and takes photos. For example, one thing I was really surprised by is that our HVAC customers really like our before and after camera, is what we call it. And it's just a real easy way to take the perfect before and after photo. So you have like the before photo, you take it the first time before you replace a unit or before you do anything. And then it allows you to kind of like lay that photo over the camera, and it even outlines everything so that you can like perfectly line up that after photo, and then it lays it out for you. And I would have said, well, who cares about what your HVAC unit looks like? I just don't think about that a lot. But it turns out that people really like the difference between old and dirty and disgusting and new and clean and nice. And if you can easily show them that they don't understand what a condenser fan, or I don't even know what I'm talking about, but like we don't know any of that. But I do know the difference between this was gross and now it is nice and new and clean. And if you can just show me that, then that helps. So like that was something that I was really surprised by, but I'm kind of, that's the kind of stuff I love finding out. Like, I just find myself like really interested in, all of these different contracting businesses, because there's a lot of things they share, but there's a lot of things that are different across them.
So why don't you break it down for us? Like, what all does the app do? I know obviously it takes pictures because we got right into that. Yeah.
I'll start with what it does. And then I'll talk about what we're trying to do, because that's so much more. Yeah. I don't know. The future is always more exciting than the present, So and I'll start with just a story of how we got here, right? So again, my dad owns a roofing company. I grew up, I'm ripping shingles off of houses, roofing. I've done every job you can do at a roofing company, from, picking up the ground to being on TV commercials. It's like, I know that inside and out. We were having this problem of trying to document what the state of this job was, like we'd taken pictures when we got there, so that when we're writing our bids, so that we're talking to the crew who's going to do the work, so that if we get blamed for something that, you guys damaged my gutter. It's like, did we? I mean, maybe it's happened, but it's also the case that sometimes, Sally, you weren't looking at your gutter until you got a brand new roof. And now you notice that there's a dent there, but that dent was there last week. It's just, you never look up there. And so it's like, I was trying to get our guys to document everything, and I just had guys like handing me memory cards, and it was like the whole thing was a nightmare. Like, couldn't find anything that we wanted. And it like came to a head when I ended up having to drive like 2 hours to this job that I was doing someone for a favor to find something that I forgot, that I knew I took a picture of in my phone. And I thought, we're carrying around these GPS enabled like supercomputers with cameras on them, we shouldn't have to be manually deciding how to do this. And so basically what we do is, when you show up at the job, Company Cam, our app, uses your GPS to say like, hey, it looks like you're at this address. Is this where you want to organize the photos and the notes that you're going to take? And you're like, yeah, or no, it's next door, something like that, because, it's not always perfect, but basically it works. And so then you do that and you can take photos, you can draw on the photos, you can comment and like mention people. So what I notice a lot of our HVAC kind of service customers is like, roofing is simple, like water runs downhill. It's like, there's, that's a little bit demeaning, but like the amount that you need to know is actually not that big. Whereas you can run into all sorts of crazy stuff when you're talking about like HVAC. What system is this? I've never seen this. And why is this run this way? And like guys in the field. So the first problem we were solving was that capturing it, organizing it so that you could find it. That was like number one. We just want to get it captured, organized, found. And that was what we were thinking. We realized, like if you're doing it through an app, then you can sort of stream it in real time. So that like the moment it's taken, my dad can be sitting at the office and he can be seeing everyone's photos on almost like a Facebook feed so that he can see, like the materials got delivered at that job. And, Jose ran into a problem over there. And, it looks like Adam is, going to finish, like that kind of stuff, like answering all these questions. But when you run into something unexpected, we found that especially in HVAC, you can kind of crowdsource the answer. You snap that photo and you're like, I'm kind of not sure about this. And then you get 6 other people because everyone can be looking at it at the same time. Basically, commenting, instead of commenting on how much someone hates Trump or loves XYZ, they're commenting, I would do this. I would do this. And it's like, boom, boom, boom. You're kind of like at a solution without having to text 7 people. And you know what I mean? Like go through the kind of standard process of problem solving, which is a little bit like, circuitous. I think that's a word, or if it's not, it's like close enough to a word. It's close enough. The circuitous route is like, come on. No, the point is like that what people understand is that they have a problem organizing. Right. That's kind of hard. And then if you can simplify that and make it automatic so that when you need that photo, you have it, that's powerful. What they realize, like what people don't know that they need, but they realize is even better than that, is having this sort of passive information feed at their fingertips. So instead of kind of the sort of phone calls, wondering how's it going, that kind of stuff, you're kind of seeing it happen as people are documenting in the field. And so you can, you see problems before they're big problems. Like you see that your new tech is doing something a little bit, and like, instead of just like finding out when there's a big problem, you see it and you can do something about it. And so that's the kind of core, I would say the core value, right, the value prop. But like it's you're capturing the stuff, you're organizing it, you're having conversations about it. And then, you can create these cool before and after photos. You can really easily create like PDF reports. Like, again, another kind of popular use case is the quick home inspection. The kind of, I'm going to walk around, bam, 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 snap these photos. And then right now you have to do it on the computer, but later, or this is something we're building out for the phone right now. You can like drop those into a PDF report with text next to them. It's just really fast and sort of show like, hey, this is what I came out for today, but it looks like this could be a problem. This could be a problem. So I want to give that to you. And then you have it documented. So when they call back and you're like, like you will literally answer the phone and people will just type it in. And then they can see this whole timeline history of every time you've ever been to that project, exactly kind of the before and after of each time. And sorry, I feel like I've been selling for like 5 minutes here. We really want to keep it simple in the sense of we're not trying to do your accounting. We do not do your scheduling. We do not do your dispatching. We do the sort of day-to-day getting things done efficiently so that you know what's happening, you have documentation of it, and you can teach someone who does not speak this language and is not technologically advanced to use our app very effectively in about 30 seconds. It's like, It's real simple. Because I mean, I knew from working with a bunch of roofers and guys who are, doing roof repairs on a daily basis. If it's hard and it adds time and there's 6 steps to do anything, it just won't happen. Because otherwise, we would all just be super organized, but we have work to do. And so that's the first casualty. Anyway, so I'm going on and on here. That's, I think, the outline of it. Like, we see this future of like, right now it's mostly photos, it's videos, and then it's kind of commenting on that and having conversations related to that. I think that the sort of field data capture in general, like the kind of filling out a form in the field, is less than ideal right now. The way that that's done, the kind of experience of doing that. And I've got a mind to make that process better and simpler and faster. But then we always want to connect, so we're always interested in your data. If you're using Company Camp, it's always open. You can, whether you want to integrate it into something or just whatever you want to do with it, it is yours. We don't lock it up. We always want you to know that is yours. You can push it wherever you want. You can do whatever you want with it. And we're never going to be saying, oh, if you don't use us, like, what are you going to do with all this stuff that we're holding? Absolutely not. Like, that's your stuff. So I'll stop there. Do you guys feel like that made sense?
It does. Go ahead, Cal.
I was just going to say, I remember a time where we were, because that's part of our equipment replacement checklist. So we've got a checklist that we've built that every time we go on a job, we're taking measurements, we're getting the existing equipment. We take 3 photos of the furnace, 3 photos of the air conditioner, all different angles, just so we can have something to reference. And then we would email those photos, and it was always a nightmare, like trying to find those photos. So I could see how, but also I could see where this could be valuable on service too, because you don't know. It's not always you that's going back. If you're not just a one-man show, and you've got other coworkers with you, it may not always be you that goes back to do the repair or to do the installation. So it's nice to have a central hub where everybody can go in and see these things. That way, no matter who on the company goes back, they have a source, a reference to look at. Yeah.
It's a way, like, I think of it like a shared memory. And that sounds kind of like it sounds weird, but we all have paperwork of the other, service calls and things that we've made. And you could look at it, I'm sure, before you went out, or, maybe if it's in a system somewhere and you could click into the folders and like, you could see it's there. But when you have this really clean, simple photo timeline that just, you can look right down. There's something about, especially with, contracting and like, you're out there, like, you're messing with the actual real world, right? You're not just shuffling papers. You're changing a thing and it looks different after you're done. And like it's a lot easier to remember things when you just see it. You're like, oh yeah, I remember. Oh man, that was a pain in the ass, blah, blah, blah. Whereas like, if you read the paperwork 4 years later, you might be like, oh, it's just like, it doesn't, especially for me, I think very like visually. And when I can see what I did, or especially see what someone else did, it's really, really helpful in that regard. And especially for scanning, like my house is a mess. Like, I just had to make this decision. Do I want to replace, the sort of $700 like controller motherboard looking thing on my furnace, or do I want to do the whole thing? I'm having this conversation with my HVAC guy, and I'm like, I don't know, and it's like, it feels like the guy's out here all the time because this place is a freaking disaster. It's supposed to be nice when I got it, It's like 15, 16 years old. I believe this house was built in 2004. And so it's like right there.
Does
and I was
it
just looking at it going,
to invest that $700 in that control board? Or would you rather put that money towards a new system?
Yeah. And that was the conversation we had. And here's the thing. I've got this app, and like, hopefully I'll be rich someday and then I won't care about, but it's like, it's hard. It's hard to make these decisions, but I know, like, the photo thing, just seeing it, like for me, if I can look back and be like, oh yeah, that's what I was doing there. Like that's always just helpful and fast and gives that sort of like shared understanding. Whereas before, like how often is someone sifting through, you've had a customer for 10 years or God knows how long, and you got a new tech. Are they looking through that old paperwork to know that, for Mrs. Jones, we did actually do this. Maybe I'm not saying they're not, but if they're just looking at pictures, it's a lot simpler.
Yeah. Well, a couple of things you said that I like that. One, what you were just saying, that you visualize things. Okay. Well, that's how most customers buy things, is through visualizing something. Yeah. I can sit there and tell you about this board and how much it cost and why you should replace the system. But if I can start showing you pictures of things, that's going to change your outlook when you're like, oh, that's what it looks like. So I love that aspect of it. Also the aspect in real time. So some of these aging techs that are getting up there, they don't want to be on their knees in the field. They got bad backs, their knees replaced. So if we can still have their experience in the office and they see this tech doing something and it's like, oh, hey, you got to replace, like there's going to be 4 bolts behind that panel that you're looking at right now. Take those bolts off to do this. So now we're keeping that, experience in the trade, helping some of the younger techs that maybe we would want to wait a little bit before we let them go out on their own. Now we can feel a little bit better that the guy, he knows enough, but with this guy's help, looking over his shoulder, now I feel a little bit better putting him out there,
Absolutely. It's just spot on. I was just, like I said, my family owns this roofing company. Look, this is my full-time job. We've got 70 employees. I'm not over at the roofing company very much. I love my brothers and my dad, but hey, roofing's hard work. This is a lot easier. So, but I was over there the other day and I was like kind of happy / surprised at just how many people had our app open, like our company cam, like site open on one of their, or like on their monitor or like one of their monitors, just like watching, and I say that like they're obviously doing other stuff working, but just like they're sort of seeing it kind of happen and they're being aware of like what you're saying. They're kind of looking out for, is this thing like on one of my things going, how's it going? Is it going wrong? What do I need to be paying attention to? And there's kind of there's like an assurance to that, like you're up to speed and you can see, like, maybe the new tech, you don't want him to have to like absolutely have his handheld 24/7 the whole time. But if you're, let's say even a year deep, you're running into things that you've never seen before. I have to imagine on a somewhat regular basis, just things that are just different, systems you haven't seen. Why did they do this like this? And, I don't know, whatever. You learn that over time. And if you can just be ready and make it easy for yourself to catch those problems. I mean, the example in roof, well, the other night, this is not a great example, but my brother, so we're in Nebraska. I'm in Lincoln, Nebraska. My younger brother runs our Omaha, Nebraska office for the roofing company. And they were getting things stolen from their like yard. Like people were driving trucks up and stealing the like ice shield that goes under the shingles, the underlayment. And they figured that out because they had taken pictures in company cam. So they knew, because they order it by like the truckload. So they knew, they were like, okay, it looks like something is gone. Did you take it? Did you like, and it was like, no. And then they realized that for like over a week, this guy had been showing up in the middle of the night and like he had cut the fence and was just like walking off with stuff. And so my brother went on a stakeout and 2 nights ago, they got the guy. They just like caught him and he ended up like running off into the weeds. And my brother's like sitting in his truck, taking pictures in company cam, kind of like gloating, like, we got him. But the point being, like you can be sure of things that you would be unsure about. And that's really helpful because would we eventually have figured out we're getting robbed? Yeah, we would have figured that out because like it can only happen so many times. But I don't know. We should be better at inventory. There's all sorts of things that you should be doing better. But when you can just look at a picture and be like, there was another pallet there that is not there right now. And unless someone else came in at 2 a.m, which like, obviously none of us care about stealing roofing felt. But yeah, the pictures, man, it's where it's at.
No, I mean,
who needs words?
Yeah. I mean, and we're in that day and age now that, we want to try to simplify everything. So me and Kelly are both real big. We've preached on for years that we're big on processes, that we want our technicians to be like McDonald's, that, no matter what guy comes there, what girl comes there, they're getting the same service every time. And when you can incorporate something like this into your day-to-day stuff where, yes, there's different CRMs out there, but having something like this that you can put all those things in one place and it organizes it for you is good, because a lot of these other things, guys, look, we have guys, they have to take before and after pictures now. But they're in no chronological order. We go back in and it's like, well, we replaced the system. Like, is this upstairs? Is this downstairs? Like, so anything that can save time is valuable in the industries, because time is money. So when we're out there, especially when a guy's in the attic and it's 100 degrees outside in the summertime, we want to be able to do things as efficiently as possible. And if they can get up there and get all the information we need, in a timely fashion, I mean, that's worth the money right there.
I feel like if you could pull those photos, like, okay, we just, after so long and you've got all this bank of information in there, I feel like if you can remember, like, oh, Mrs. Smith had this same furnace or she had the same air conditioner, and you could pull that up. And I feel like you could even use that on a sale and say, this is what this is what it's going to look like.
I know why you're here, Kelly. Like, it's so funny because it took me 3 years to understand what you just said, and you figured it out like in the first 20 minutes of this podcast, it's all based on location. And so you can filter everything by nearby. And so you can look at nearby projects. I mean, that's how you make it easy to take the photos at the right property and to see what was all there. And we had a customer who was like, oh man, my sales reps are loving this because we've done enough work now over the last year or something that we can just go in and say, oh, hey, look, Sally, this is what we did at Meredith's house 2 blocks away, and like kind of just showing them with this social proof of all the stuff around them. But then you can also tag the photos in the project. So for example, the unit, that's perfect in HVAC. You can tag the unit, and then you're like, oh, this is the other people who have done this, and this is what they had before, and this is this. And then you can, I look at that as, it's a way to tell a story that you connect to the actual real world. It's not just like, oh, this offers like 70 more BTUs, or no one cares about BTUs. But if they know that like, John's room used to get cold over here or hot, you name it, but then they went with the boom, and it's like a real people in a real house. And it's like right around the corner. That stuff really matters. And you just can't overestimate how powerful. Like, this is something that I'm thinking about for the long-term value of our company, which is that we're getting about 500,000 photos uploaded a day. So every single day between our customers, it's millions a week, and we're at over 200 million photos total. And I'm thinking that we are trying to figure out, how do we help our customers put these photos to work aside from just sitting in someone's living room and holding a phone in their face, right? How do we help them deploy these to their website, to Facebook? Like, how do we make it so easy that all you have to do is go, and it's done for you? Because I think if we can do that, that's really powerful. But on the flip side, if we can do it enough times, we could make an actual place where you could go browse these photos, where we could highlight our customers to the point that some random person on the internet that chose to come to our website to see the photos that our customers have shared. And I want to make that point. Everything that you capture with Company Cam is totally private. It's no one can see it outside of your company. It's yours, but we want to give you the opportunity to publish that to the wider world to help you grow, to say, hey, we've done a lot of work here. You can see it. And the cool, crazy thing is like, we can verify it because you're taking these photos with our app. We can say this company took this photo at this place at this time. Now we wouldn't say literally, like, we probably wouldn't put it dead on a house, but like we can say this is authentic. Like this isn't something they just pulled off the internet somewhere. These guys work here and they do good work, and you can see that they do good work. And so we're at the beginning stages of trying to figure out really how to move from just helping our customers kind of execute their business on a day-to-day basis, which is really important, to then saying, okay, through the process of doing your business and documenting your work and just being smart and covering your butt, how do we take what you're creating, which is a ton of photos of actual work getting done, and how do we help you use that to grow your business? And the kind of off the cuff way that our smart customers figured out is what Kelly was saying, which is tag them, organize, like when you have them organized by location, and then you can do all sorts of sales, just on the spot sales that are really powerful with that. And that's honestly probably the best. But I think there's other things, like we're working on like a website widget, which is that something that you can put on your website and sort of push photos of your work to, so that you don't have, who knows how to log into their website and upload no one. But if you could say, oh, are you curious? And again, I hope that I'm wrong here, but I don't know exactly how powerful that is for HVAC. I know that when I think of roofing, if I can say, oh, you can go right to my website and you can browse like 1,000 roofing projects we did by color, by type, by everything. People are like, oh, I want to do that. Maybe huge. I hope that there's value there for like, oh, you want to see what this unit, what our install looked like over there? Yeah, you can go to our website. You can, go through that. Like that's something we're building right now, and that we're giving away actually for free, because Company Cam is free we're going to even make it more, but right now it's up to 50 projects that you can have in there for free. And we're going to expand on that into the future, but we're going to build this feature in for free. Like you can you can take the pictures, you can put them on your website, and up to 50 different projects you can do. And it's going to be totally free. And I'm super pumped about it. So I'm glad you got me going on that line, Kelly. Cause you're the first, you might be the first person who has come up with that use case, which is actually really, really powerful.
I was thinking about it too. You just didn't give me a chance.
Gil's like, come on, man. Gil, you're also a genius, man.
No, but Kelly is right there. And after you started saying that, I started thinking about it. Like Kelly knows we have like these one neighborhoods where it's always something goofy. Like it's not a normal system. There's something, we're an apartment complex. And that is good. Even some of these commercial jobs, if I can go to a commercial client and they're like, oh, well, you ever done, a job like this? Actually, yeah, I have. I did the one right down the street. Look, you want to see? But even for the homeowners, like he was saying, this neighborhood has something goofy where it's propane and something else. And they're like, oh, well, we have those funny systems. Have you ever done one of these before? Well, actually, Mrs. Smith, we've done like 6 in your neighborhood. Would you like to take a look what we've done? Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, see this. We know exactly what we're doing. I can even see
like if you're doing a duct system on an old, or like even adding central heat and air to a house that has never had it, and you've got to cut a bunch of holes in plaster and lath, and like seeing how much, you got to cut that stuff very gently and in a certain way to keep it from just the whole ceiling from falling down. So I can see how you could show all the steps of it to another customer who has plaster and lath and say, if it breaks, like, here's what you could expect. Here's what happens, right? Just show them, here's what's possible that can happen. And then if you fix it or you hire somebody to fix it, whatever, but just so you could just kind of lay it out in a flat line for them. So they straight line.
I think I said this earlier. I can't remember because I talk a lot. I find myself, everyone, getting a word in sometimes is hard, but I forget what I say. We are trying to create value through truth and transparency. That's like our purpose as a company. And we are doing that right now, sort of internally, like for contracting business internally, right? You can see what's happening in the field, time-stamped, geo-stamped. You know what job it was at. You know when it was. You know who took it. You can search, find it by any of those things in seconds. And so it adds a ton of accountability down there, right? Like there's no, oh yeah, boss, it's going great, or it's all done. You know, it's like, no, like that picture is not going to lie to me about what the state of that job is. So that's, again,
just to be perfectly clear, like if I needed to go search a job and I cannot remember their address, because we're usually like kind of horrible with addresses. We're really good with homes. Like we drive by the house and we're like, I did that house. I did that job. That's Mrs. Smith. You know, we can remember that, but we can't remember the address. So if I know like the main street section that it was at,
you can search by anything. So
just wanted to clarify that.
It will. So like when you go to create, like, okay, I mean, there's a million ways to do it. You can tie it into an integration so that when you enter it into your CRM or your, you know, whatever system, it just, bam, it auto creates it for us. But you can also, in order to make it incredibly simple, when you are at that job and you're like, oh, I need to take photos. This is part of my job. Gil's going to be on my ass if I don't take the photos, you know, like I need to take the photos. Then when you pull it up, it does the Uber thing. It basically is like, it looks like you're here, and drops a pin on a map and it says like, it looks like you're at this address. And you're just like, yep, that's where I am. And it creates that project. It's like one tap, bam. And then you're taking photos, right? So we're trying to remove the thinking. Then it's searchable by any of that, by the street, by the number. Right. I mean, you know, if you put a customer name in there, which you can,
by
you can
the
search
name
by
of
that.
the tech that was out there.
But then also on the web, we haven't. Oh no, you can do this on both actually. You can also just look at a map and zoom in and like see the pins. And then you're like, oh, like, because for, you know, sometimes you're like, okay, well, I don't remember. Like it's that one street over there, like a couple blocks north of like Layton Avenue or something. What's the street by me? Then you're like, oh yeah. But can you go zoom in on the map and you're like that one and you click on it, you know? So it's funny. We had a meeting about this afternoon. We're trying to figure out how to make our kind of conversations back and forth more powerful. Try to, you know, just the word I kept saying to everyone was findability. Findability is key. So it's not necessarily search. Sometimes it's like filtering by a person or by you know, it's like, but when you open this app, you have to be able to find what you're looking for. And that's what we have to facilitate, that you open it up and it is easy to find things. And so we've went a long ways with that. It is easy to find things now, but I like thinking into the future, like that's so key. Because you don't always know the person's name. You don't always know the address, but like between the name, the address, like I've even had people they can't remember any of that, but they're like, I know that I was there, because they're like Mardi Gras was like the day
towards
before.
The end
and so then they go back to like they filter by that week and they're like, oh, that's the one, you know? So it's like, we were trying to make that like findability really, really easy, but I'm going to run just slightly more on this truth and transparency because this like really matters to me. First, it's internal, but in the future, I think we can take the value that I think we're providing to contractors, this truth and transparency, finding things, knowing what's going on, and we can help them push that down to the end consumer. And to me, that helps the good contractors win, right? If we can help you publish your work, show it off, and verify that it's real, right? Say, no, this is actually authentic. This isn't us just like showing you pictures on our phone. Like this app that we use says like, at the time, you know, or stuff like that. It's just like, and look, I want to reiterate, the only way that stuff gets published is if you decide to publish it. But I think that we can help our customers in that regard. And I think that it matters because right now most contractors are found via word of mouth. You know, there's reviews, there's things like that, but there's really not a great way or a place that a customer can go to kind of browse the work, right? Like if you want to get a bathroom remodel, you might go to Pinterest and like, well, you guys, you know, come on, you guys are manly dudes. You know, I'm going to catch you dead on Pinterest as Gil is like deleting 10 bookmarks.
Yeah. No, what are you talking about, man?
Who, me? What? I didn't order these ladies' trousers. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I lost my train of thought.
I did see where I get where you're
ladies'
going.
trousers.
I get where, yeah, right. He's getting turned on.
It's just around. It's around.
I get where you're
like helping facilitate that sharing and saying, hey, what if I could go and actually browse the work that local contractors are doing, and then what, like from my perspective, I'm like, we're helping our customers grow. You know, like we want to help them grow. That's good for us. It's good for them. And I'm playing the long game. I mentioned that before we started. It's the long game. And I end up arguing with people about this like constantly, because it's always, you know, you want people to have the right incentives. You don't want them to lose money on this job or that, you know, but you also want them to balance that like immediate financial world with the long game. The fact that we got to treat people right. And we got to, you know, we just got to think long term. And I think for us, that long term is the more value we provide to our customer, the better we do. Preaching it all the time. Like that is everything. It's not like how many sales we can get today, or, you know, like we make the best product. People are going to use it. They're going to love it. But long term, if we can take that value to them and then make them more valuable to the customer and provide value to the kind of end consumer person, then it just, I don't know. I feel confident that it's going to work and that it's going to be really good for everyone involved. So anyway, I think I lost the plot here a little bit talking about my utopian vision of how it's all going to work out. But I believe it.
Well, and you're good, man. And that's the kind of stuff. Think about it. Sometimes when people try to take an idea, sometimes it seems like it's goofy. It's weird. Probably some of the biggest things in the world right now, when somebody says, hey, I'm going to create a website and I'm going to let everybody come there and buy whatever they need, and they're not going to go to the store anymore. Yeah, well, that guy's Amazon and he's a gazillionaire now. But when he was probably telling his friends about it, they were like, oh, Jeff, you're a dumbass. What are you talking about? You know, so sometimes you got to think outside the box. And I love how your thinking is, how it's not, hey, we made this product to help people and we're just that's it. We're going to run with it. You're already sitting here talking about ways you can make it better, things you can add to it, what it can do. And man, it does this. And now we can go in this direction, or we can do this. And that's normally a good sign. I mean, even in a business, you know, like our business,
yeah,
you know,
I think it would be really cool to just have a monitor in your office with that one screen pulled up that has the pins of all the work you've done. Like every day you're adding pins all over this map. And then when customers come into your office, they'll be like, look at all this work we do everywhere. You know, that to me, just that visual would be really cool.
We only load 50 pins at a time for the sake of speed, but you can output a file that you can then upload into Google, like that you can upload into. Anyway, sorry, it's possible to do that. I hate to burst your bubble, but if someone went away from here thinking that was exactly possible, I would feel bad that I didn't. You know, I feel like
that's
phony.
It's been a great podcast. Shut this shit down.
Thanks, but no thanks, Luke.
Yeah, Luke, you're gonna have to see yourself out, and feel free to jump off a bridge. Oh no, it's funny. I went into our Slack while Gil was talking earlier into our chat and said, guys, I need you to whip me up a landing page. And our people are so good. They made a page. I wanted a page to give to you guys. I don't have a deal or anything associated with it yet. We make a really good deal, but I put it in there, and like one of our people got back to me right away and was like, I already made it. It's so if anyone from here wants to try out Company Cam, Company Cam is free. It's free to try. Right now, it's free for up to 3 users, up to 50 projects. After that, it's $19 a person if you want to use it. But we have a companycam.com/HVAC uncensored. So that page exists. We're going to give you a discount. Right now, it just says get 14 days free because it's a generic thing that I had someone whip up 10 seconds ago. But we could real time negotiate this discount, or we could just count on the fact that we're going to hook you guys up and do something for you to make it worth your while. So that exists. I just got the message from one of our people and I was like, oh man, I didn't think they were going to get it to me tonight. I figured I'd just email it to you guys or something.
That's awesome.
But,
so say that again. Say it again.
It's companycam.com/HVAC uncensored. And I see that they spelled uncensored correctly, which is rare. That's a hard word to spell.
That's awesome because we have so many discount codes that are uncensored that people are like, hey, the code didn't work. I'm like, you spelled it wrong, dipshit.
Yeah,
so,
the code.
Yeah,
worked.
so I'm like, if you can't spell the code, you don't deserve the discount.
You don't get the discount.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. See, listeners, see what we do for you. You know, people trying to help you guys out.
I don't know how. I'm going to have to talk to the marketing team. I'm not promising any. I am promising. That's what I'm doing. I'm promising a discount, a deal, something better than other people are getting is what you're going to get. I just don't know exactly what that is. And I know that if I start running my mouth about what it is, that I'm going to get in trouble from my marketing people. And I don't want that to happen.
That's fine. You don't got to say anything,
look,
man.
They need to have a job, and like everyone else.
We just appreciate that you're even willing to do that. No matter what it is, if it's 2% off, it's still 2% cheaper than they would have paid. So whatever it is, thank you.
You're really underselling these listeners of yours.
Yeah.
Now they want a big discount.
Big
like you need to stand up for these guys. Yeah, that huge discount. We need to know.
I was trying to be grateful. I mean, if you want me to get
here's the thing, it's already cheap. It's $19. It's $19 like a person, like a tech a month. And that's unlimited, like unlimited photos, totally unlimited everything. You can't, I challenge you to take enough photos to put us underwater of storing your photos. And no one has done that yet, though. Man, some people are moving that direction.
You just challenged the wrong group of people, just so you know.
Yeah, just out there, click.
You might be seeing some of the wrong pictures of some of these people.
Yeah. Okay, hold on, guys. Before we I don't know how much time we have left, but I want to make sure that I get this in. Our app is cool and everything, but we made this funny video called Deck Pics, and it's about a contractor from New Zealand who, when he says the word deck, it sounds like a different word. And he's trying to talk to our support people about organizing his deck pics, and especially of his gigantic new deck of made from New Zealand hardwood. We made this video. It's got over 3 million views on Facebook right now. I think it's like over 5 million across the wider range of the internet. We shot the sequel today, where Mick, the main character, decided to get his deck removed. And then you find out later that he's, so hilarity ensues. He decides he's going to get his deck removed. So if you're interested in checking that out, it's funny because at most companies, people are trying to get permission from the owner to run ads like this that are
right.
At our company, I'm trying to tell my marketing people, guys, this is going to be fine. No one cares. And not only does no one care, everyone loves it because it's actually funny. And it's one of those things that sounds like it could be offensive because it sounds like it could be offensive. But when you watch it, it's not, offensive. It's just funny. It's just this funny miscommunication from these funny foreigners who don't quite, they just say things a little differently.
That's hilarious.
But we really our video team and our marketing team they're just top notch. We love doing this kind of stuff, I say this because I probably sound like I don't want to say a serious person. That's definitely pushing it. I care a lot about the stuff that I'm talking about, but I also when you're doing a job every day, the amount of time we spend working, having fun doing it, I think is important. I think it helps. Not only because it's just, you want to enjoy your life more than you want to, you want it to suck. Obviously, you want it to be great. Yeah. But people want to stick around and be at a place that's enjoyable. And even if we were successful and made a bunch of money, we all hate each other afterwards. And we just were like, man, why did we throw away 10 years doing that's no way to go about it. We just kind of make it a point to try to have a lot of fun with our marketing, not take it too seriously. And luckily for us, our customers are contractors. These aren't the type of people who get up in arms about it. A little.
I refer to our customers, our listeners as fuckers.
A lot of experience with little decks.
Yeah.
Say that again.
I refer to our customers, our listeners as fuckers. So,
Yeah.
We had,
I mean,
who was it? Damn it. You're, Pete.
Great
Pete
person.
Ramsey.
Yeah. He was like, man, I love it. He's like, you're the only person I know refers to your customers as fuckers. This is going to be a great podcast.
Yeah. No, that is a good sign. I kind of like at the beginning was like, can I swear? And then I did. And I was like, well, all right, well, we're there. I just assumed. I took one look at Gil and I was like,
we swear.
This guy's
I've
cool.
been trying to slow down on the F-bombs, but it's just kind of the way it happens.
I got a like a 2-year-old, or 3 years old as of tomorrow morning. It's her birthday. 3-year-old, 5-year-old, and a 7-year-old. And like, they're in that sort of middle stage where they kind of like know what's all happening and they kind of know where they stand, but then oh my God. Then they say things like, Dad, when I shake my head, my penis wiggles. I'm like, okay. Like, I feel like, I hope you didn't find that out at school. That was like a thing you figured out at home, right? And that was like, I don't know, man. Life. It's crazy. Can't take it too seriously.
Trust me. I have a 3-year-old girl, a 5-year-old girl, 11-year-old boy, a 15-year-old boy, another 15-year-old boy.
Oh man. You're running the you got the spectrum there.
Girls and boys.
You got it covered. You're an expert. I need to come to you next time. I need to figure out what's going on.
Pull out.
Been through it.
There you go. my brother jokes to me and he goes, you couldn't pull out of a fucking driveway, could you? I was like, shut up, man.
Oh man, that's amazing. That is great.
Yeah, it is awesome. But this is awesome, man. I think this product it's the future of helping and organizing. Pictures are worth 1,000 words. We always say that. And I love, we didn't even get into details. I know we're running out of time, but the overlay factor, like that's huge. You know how you said you can take a picture and overlay it over something. That's pretty cool.
You should check it again. Like I said, it's free. Like, you download the app. One of our salespeople is going to call you. They're nice. If you tell them to leave you alone, they will. We're not trying to make it complicated. It's like, we're cool, but that is powerful. And again, it's all about taking something that would be hard, learning how to like do Photoshop and make a cool before and after photo. Because not only does it overlay so that you have 2 photos, it gives you this whole layout, a kind of stylized layout with your logo on it. And there's like 20 different choices, like swiping through like Instagram layouts or something, or I don't know. I'm not cool enough to know what's going on, with kids, but like it's, just different kind of themes so that you can easily. And what I tell people is, okay, just do the before and after. It's not hard. You're making your guys do it, right? Or guys and gals and anyone that's in the field doing work. Take a before and after, or take the before photo, take the after photo. And then my recommendation is text it to your customer. Send it to them. Just text it to them and say, hey, it was a pleasure working at your house. Here's the work that was done. If you're open to sharing this or posting it, I would really appreciate it. It's that simple. You just send it to them and you say, I would appreciate it if you did this. You're not pushing and, leaning on them. But instead of them having to go out of their way to do something, it's like, it's sitting right there. They've got it. They're happy that it was crappy. Now it's good. And they've got this thing that, and it makes their house look good. It's like, it doesn't make them look bad, and it's easy for them to share it. And if they had a good experience, often they will. And what we found is it's not like next week you're going to get this deluge of new jobs, or anything like that. It's that if they post it, their network of X number of people, some of those people are going to see it, right? Some of them. Then in the next 3 to 24 months, at least one of those people is going to need your services, and they are going to remember. They're not going to remember your name, even though it's on there with your logo. They're just going to remember that Jill had her furnace replaced and that she was happy with the people. That's all they're going to remember, but they're going to remember enough to ask her, hey, who was that? I feel like you were happy with whoever did your thing and I'm having trouble. And she'll be like, oh yeah, it was blah, 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 whatever. And then they're going to say your name and you're going to get called on that job. And it's a long game strategy, but if I've seen it over and over, if you do that, it works. It will work. And it is as simple as sending a text message, but you just have to commit to doing it. And but it's one of those things that you got to put in a little bit of time there, but you will see the dividends of people who are like, in their mind, it's just word of mouth. Like they didn't even think like, oh, it was an app and it was a Facebook. Right. No, it was just like, oh, it was like Jill told me, that's what it will be in their mind. But it's from this game of basically the way I think of it is like, instead of like you're removing all of the friction for them to share something and you're asking them to do it. So, which is powerful, that just the fact that you're just asking them to do it.
In this day and age, people forget about the power of word of mouth. So if you have a neighbor that you do work for them and then you send them pictures of it and they tell their neighbor, oh, how was the work? They might not want them, especially with COVID. Oh, come in and take a look at it. But they might say, oh yeah, look, this is what they did. So, I mean, people don't realize the power of word of mouth is huge. Even though we're in the Googling day, I can't tell you how many systems I've sold when people say, oh, you sold a system to so-and-so, and they told me I had to go through you.
Absolutely.
100%. I mean, it never gets old. Like having customers that are happy with your work that are not, and it's that I think that's where I'm trying to go here too, is it's not just that they're willing to. Because if they have to like do a couple steps or go out of their way, some will do that, because they're really happy or they're just the type of people that like to, tell you what they have for lunch every day. But like the rest of us, if we're prodded and asked, like we are a lot more likely if we've like, because like it's sort of implicit. You've taken away any of the work involved in it. And then you ask them to do it. So like it almost becomes to where they have to actually be unhappy with it to not do it. Yeah. Like they're like, instead of it just being the like over the top 10s that are so excited, it's like, if they were like a 8 to a 10 now, they're going to do it. Versus,
it's like reviews. If you ask me a certain way, I'm going to leave you a review. And otherwise, if you don't ask me at all, or if I just get a text message afterwards, like I'm not going to do it. So
it has to feel personal. And that's where like, as opposed to this like automated message, it's like, no, you just texted me a picture and no, it's just one of these things. Like I'm no expert on running an HVAC business, but I know that works. I've seen it work more than just HVAC. I've seen it work in other industries like roofing, which is again, what I know. And it's like, do that and then do okay. This is the other tip. Sorry. I'm going to let you guys go after this. That texting him a picture, unrelated to that, is you need to retarget people who hit your website. This is digital marketing 101. Anyone who, how you go to Amazon and it's like, oh, you want that like thing you just bought, which is like the kind of bad version of it where all of a sudden you go around the internet and you see it all over the place. Well, the best people that you should be marketing to on the internet are people who were at your website or maybe your Facebook page or you name it, right? Like who are thinking for some reason. I mean, you'll end up hitting people that, aren't that important, but like if you can narrow down the whole span of everyone on the internet that you could market to in some way to people that were on your website, you definitely want to try to put some more messaging in front of those people about your company, about whatever. And so, any sort of digital marketing agency or any, somewhat competent digital marketing person, if you say, I want to retarget people that were on my website, they will do that for you. And that is the best digital marketing that you can. I say that it's kind of like the thing that everyone should be doing that very few people are doing. And there's probably a little bit in the weeds. I think we have a guide on our website. If I can find it, I'll send it to you. But it's a simple premise. If you show up at my website, you should be getting delivered a Facebook ad and, just something that says like, hey, like, remember us? Like we're still here type of a thing, because it's like people have to see that a couple times a lot of time. And when they do, it builds up the trust and et cetera. So those are my two from a marketing perspective, which I'm not remotely competent to run an HVAC business. We'd all be freezing to death and or dying of heat exhaustion. But from marketing, those two things I feel good about. Send a photo, do retargeting, and your business will grow more than it is right now.
It's huge.
Yeah.
We do that. The person we use is huge with that. Before you get off, I just want to say one thing that I do love about this, that the fact that we can take a picture of my deck and then overlay Kelly's deck, and then we can send one picture on our Facebook and people can see both of our decks at one time.
Yes. Assuming that we're all on the same page here, I'll say just don't send it to me. Just make sure you keep that. No, I'll send you guys the link to the deck picks. When we get the new one, I'll fire it over to you guys. I think you'll get a kick out of it. And then otherwise, if you get a chance to check out Company Cam, would love that. I really appreciate you guys having me on. Like, this was like super fun.
Yes.
You guys clearly have a good thing going here. And I'm just glad I got to be a part of it.
Yes.
Thanks for
thank
coming
you very
on,
much, man.
Good to meet you, man.
Yeah. We appreciate the stuff. And like I said, whatever discount you decide to work out, we appreciate that on behalf of our listeners. Anything that can help them in their business, make their job easier, make them more successful, we're all for it. And even us in general using it as well. I forgot what the hell I was going to say there. If you want to, I don't know if you're already in it, in our Facebook group, HVAC Uncensored Nation. If you join that and send a link, you'll just say Luke from Company Cam. You don't got to answer all the questions and I'll approve you. Then we tag all the podcast and stuff in there. And then you can also, you guys can share your stuff in there. I don't let just anybody do it, but you guys are more than welcome to do that.
Dang, 38,000 members.
Yeah. So we're getting up there.
You're not kidding around. Look at you guys. Let's go. No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like I said, you guys are doing great here. So I will do that tomorrow. I'm going to talk to the team and make sure I get it right before I send it over. Then I will start shooting you guys info, and I will probably jump into this page, or I will definitely get in here and get that over to you so that you can post it in there. And this is awesome. I'm really glad to get this opportunity.
Yeah, once this will go out Monday morning. Once I'm done editing it,
perfect. I'll wait till that to get it to you.
Yeah,
there.
what does it matter? I'll send you guys a copy of it and you can do whatever you want with it. So the copy I send to you is the audio version, but you can do whatever you want. And I could even send you the video too. It's not a big deal.
Oh, well, we'll link it up and share it on all of our stuff. It'd be great.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Yes. Well, thank you. Thank you for coming, man. We're going to go and close this out. You can hang tight in the background, or if you need to roll, I know it's past your time with your wife. I don't want you to get in trouble. I know how that goes.
I'm going to bail momentarily, but like, you guys are great. I look forward to meeting you guys in the future. Once we get back to the real world at some point, hopefully that still exists. Yeah. We got to meet up at one of these events somewhere.
Yeah, for sure, man. We're always at AHR. So
perfect. Awesome. I'll see you guys later.
Buddy. See ya. All right, Kelly, let's close this out, my friend.
All right, guys. So there you have it. Go to companycam.com/HVAC Uncensored. And like he said, it's up to 3 users right away. Like, you're going to get some type of discount, but there's 3 users. What do you say? 50 projects?
Up to 50 projects for free.
So just give it a try and see how you like it and see if the team enjoys it. And why not? Like, it's risk-free, man. So I know I'm going to try it. And if we end up liking it and using it regularly, then why not? Yeah. It's extremely affordable. I can tell you that from what he's saying. And if he can give us a discount on top of that, hey.
Well,
even
plus,
better.
And we're not going to say it when we talk to him off air. We're just going to leave this open blanket statement. He is going to be integrating with a lot of people here shortly. He's working on it. So just know that this thing it's got a lot of growing that's going to happen. So just know that. That's all I'm going to say.
Great. That's a great point. So
yeah,
it could be worth just getting in there and kind of learning it right now. That way it's not brand new to everybody when it does integrate into certain things that you use every single day. Right. So intent. Yeah. So, so guys, thank you, HVAC Uncensored Nation. Thank you, Mr. Gilcavey. 99 episodes. That's pretty amazing. We're going to have,
and a bitch ain't one.
It would be nice if it was just you and me. Honestly, I know we're booked out for the next several weeks. But for the 100th episode, if it was just you and I, that would be cool. But so we may have to celebrate a little bit later on the 100th episode.
Well, we have a guest, but it's my office manager. So maybe I can push her off the following week or something.
It might be worth doing just to celebrate our 100th episode, man. I don't know. You think about it. I think we need,
that's the one we're going to try to do something special. Cause I think the 100th episode we should do live.
Gotcha. It is it's a special thing. So yeah,
it is, man.
All right, guys. So thank you so much for listening. That's the only reason we're still doing it, because we do have some listeners. We do have a few people in the Facebook group. So thank you guys. I know one thing, you need to stop posting all that shit in there, because Facebook's like having a fit. It's like every day I'm getting notifications saying that we've removed content or we cannot post this content. So I don't know what the hell you guys are doing, but you need to stop. So
yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Kelly. I am going to make a video tomorrow and put it out. I've been so busy, I forgot. And guys, we joke and we play around and we kind of let a lot of things slide that we have to tighten up, because Facebook, it used to give us the option to remove certain things. Now it's doing it automatically. You cannot, nothing political, whether, like I said before, whether we agree with you or not, I don't want your politics in the group. You can't have any kind of gay talk. I hate to say it, but I know it's uncensored, but I'm not going to let something happen to our group that we've worked so hard to bust our ass to build that up to it, to lose it over somebody posting stupid stuff. So we're going to have to tighten up the group for a little bit. I'm going to be honest with you. With everything that's going on right now, Facebook is kind of off the hook, and I'm not going to let them shut our group down because people, can't contain themselves. So if we have to start booting some people or put them on post approval or whatever it is, we're going to have to do that. All right. But I'll make a video about that tomorrow. Sorry,
Sounds good. Yeah. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you go check out Company Cam. And I don't have much else to say. I just appreciate all you guys, appreciate all you gals that watch and listen and support us. We get emails all the time, just people saying, hey, really appreciate what you guys are doing. And that is our payment. So please don't stop doing that. that is our payment. That's all we ask, is that you just let us know what you'd like to hear, if we're doing a good job, if we're not, what, anything you would like to say to us. Just don't be afraid to reach out to us at hvacuncensored@gmail.com. And that's it, guys. Hope you're making the most out of your maintenances and even some no heats. We've had several no heats the last 2 days. It's been like sleeting in the morning and covering, ice covered cars and just really cold. So we've definitely been running some no heat calls. Not crazy, but we're very, very steady. So hopefully you guys are staying steady too. I don't know where I'm kind of rambling, but anyhow, well, I'll let you go. Love you guys. Thank you for the support. Go make money.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we appreciate you guys. We hope you liked this tonight. Luke was awesome, man. We got to talk a while before. Luke's a very cool guy. He's got a killer stash. You guys are going to see that. He's definitely got the mustache of the century. But he sounds like a really good guy trying to help the industry in a way that I really think can help all of us. So with the discount, and him coming out and doing that live on air that's pretty awesome. We didn't talk about that beforehand or nothing. We would have, but for him to do that is very, very awesome. So remember that companycam.com/HVAC Uncensored. You're going to get a discount. Go check it out. It's nothing to lose. I mean, check it out. Use it. If you love it, great. If you don't, guess what? It didn't cost you a damn thing. All right. We do appreciate you guys, man. We appreciate all the support you give us. We're going to try to do something special for the 100th episode. Me and Kelly will figure that out at some point. But yeah, we hope you guys are, doing what you got to do. Your businesses are growing. You're staying steady. I can't believe you guys are getting snow already. We're not, or frost. We're not getting that yet. It's been a little chilly, but not too bad. I do get to go see the Orioles VIP boxes tomorrow. So Baltimore Orioles, Camden Yard Stadium. So that should be pretty awesome. But yeah, guys, reach out and let us know. I am going to start the live streams back up. It's just, I'm trying to get some things in order. I'm not just going to do something just to do it. So that's why I'm kind of holding off, because I'm in the process of trying to buy a house. I'm in the process of trying to buy a new office, that's going to include a studio. So I got a lot of things in the works right now. So that's why I kind of put things on hold, but I'm not sure where I was going with that. But anyway, if there's something you want us to cover in a topic, or you want us to add a segment to the podcast, let us know. Me and Kelly always want your input. Okay. So like Kelly said, the email, www.hvacuncensored@gmail.com. And don't forget the text line, uncensored text line, neglected text. It's going to be 443-422-1000, 443-422-1000. All right, guys. I say the same thing every week. All right. Be safe out there. Always make it home the same way you left. We all got somebody to go home to. And guys, do the little things to set yourself apart from the next guy. All right. Next guy and gal. All right. Be that person who does those little things, those little small details that makes you stand out from the crowd. All right. It's like everybody wearing a black shirt and you're wearing a white shirt. That's probably not a good, I shouldn't have said that. You're wearing a blue shirt and everybody's wearing a green shirt. Don't want to use the black and white analogy. Way to go, Gil. But until next week, man, I love you mofos, and I'll talk with you guys next week. All right. Peace.
Thanks for listening to the HVAC Uncensored podcast. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Instagram, or email us anytime at hvacuncensored@gmail.com. Now, get back to work. Shut this down. The views and opinions shared on the HVAC Uncensored podcast may not necessarily be the views and opinions of our sponsors or guests.
Booyah.